I bought this Audi A3 for £400.
It had a battery issue where the car would run, but after turning it off it wouldn't start again, and it also needed a service.
And now they've been taken care of, it's up for sale.
Because I'm trying to flip cars until I have enough money from each car to buy an Audi RS3. So after sorting all of the issues out on the Audi A3, I put it up for sale and it didn't take long before it sold, which now leaves me with the search for another car.
Okay, the Audi A5, as you all know, we bought that car for £400, including all the parts to repair the car. It came to a total of £542.49. That car has now sold. It went really quick and I managed to sell it for £1,000 on the dot, which made for a quick sale. I think it only took me 2 days to sell that car, which has now gave me a profit of £457.59. Now, we're not going to be using that money to go and buy the next car. That money goes into the RS3 fund, and when we've got enough money to buy the car, we're going to buy it. So we don't need to worry about margins and using the profit to buy the next car. We're just going to go again. So we've got £457 already towards the RS3, and it's only took me 2 days to do that. So that's a good start. Now we need to find the next car, and I've already I think I've actually found it. One of you guys actually sent me a message and said that they've got a car in a pretty cool colour. It's a pretty decent engine, but it's got a few things wrong with it, and there's one major thing that might be a little bit of a risk. So I definitely think it's worth checking out. So we're heading there right now.
This one is going to be quite interesting because right now in the UK I can only find another 2 of this specific car for sale in this colour. So if I can get it for a good deal, I definitely want to buy it. So after around a 40-minute drive up to a place called Doncaster, it was time to check it out.
The car should be somewhere around here, and it's not going to be very hard to, in fact, I think I've already spotted it over in the distance. The owner said he's on his way back home, so we're going to have a quick look around the car. There it is. It's bright, isn't it? How bright is that? What a cool colour for a car. Okay, let's have a look. Here it is.
This is a Seat Leon FR-CR, meaning it's the 2-litre diesel common rail engine. And what makes this car so special is it's finished in this amazing lumina orange paintwork. With how few of these are available in the UK, I think that if I can get it for a good price, then I could make good profit on this one. But of course, like every car, this one's got its problems.
Now this isn't any ordinary Seat Leon. This is the Leon FR-CR, I believe, which means the owner isn't here at the minute, but it gives us a chance to have a quick look around it. There is a few problems with this car, of course. First one, on the outside, it's missing this fog light trim. Hopefully we can get that from, I don't know, Amazon, eBay or somewhere like that. But looking at it from the outside, the paintwork is actually in good condition, isn't it? These kind of colours normally get a lot of lack appeal, but this one seems okay. This fog light surround is still here, which is good. The headlights haven't hazed up. I mean, from here, the car actually looks really good. I'm pretty sure as well underneath is all good because it's had no advisories on the MOT for any corrosion or anything you wouldn't want. This is quite cool, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice. Actually.
It is. It's actually really bright, vibrant. It's a rare colour. I don't know what colour the paint actually is. Well, it's orange, but I don't know what the actual paint code is. But what a cool colour. Check out the interior. These, I think, are pretty cool. Flat bottom steering wheel. It is, of course, manual. And I think these interiors are quite ahead of their time. Check out the dashboard as well. It's all kind of, just all looks very modern. The steering wheel's nice. The seats are almost kind of bucket-ish inspired. I think if we can get it for the right price, we might be able to have a good deal here. So I have spoke to the owner and he has gone through all of the issues that this car has, but this is a FR-CR Seat Leon. So I think it's got well, it's got the 170 horsepower, but as far as engine wise, he's told me that he thinks there's an oil leak somewhere coming from the engine, which we can figure that out. And then I've got a little list of a few things that are wrong with the car. So first one is both of the near side tyres apparently have slow leaks. There's also apparently a knocking noise coming from the rear right when driving. The engine management light is currently off, but it does come on every now and then. Apparently it is an oxygen sensor, an O2 sensor. And then there is just a couple of little bodywork bits, which on a car this age, the bodywork, I'd say, is pretty good. So we've got a few bits to work out, and of course, obviously, that oil leak somewhere in this engine bay. But here it is, the Bugatti key, probably the most used key ever in the history of automotive cars. Hopefully the engine's all right. Sounds good to me. Well, we've got check daytime running light. We've got a light thing on the dashboard, and we've got a fog light thing on the dashboard, a fog light warning light on the dashboard. But it's nice, isn't it? Like, as far as interiors go, it's actually quite nice. I love the steering wheel. We've got half a tank of fuel as well. We're getting really lucky on the fuels.
Wow.
It says service now on the dashboard. Now, there is one downside to this car, apart from all of the issues, but we'll get into that a little bit later, and that's going to be the slight risk that I might just have to take for what car this is, for how much I could get it for. But for now, let's take it for a test drive. Let's see if it's all right. If it drives all right, I might have it.
The owner also told me that this car's been parked up for about 4 months, and it wasn't long until I realised that it might have a few more issues.
What does that sound like? It's rotational, isn't it? Because it gets...
Wheel bearing.
Could be wheel bearing, yeah, but it sounds like a knock-in, but it's rotational. Normally it... Do you know what though? Apart from that, obviously, noise, seems alright, doesn't it? That could well be a rear wheel bearing. But I guess this is just one of them things that you never know until you go ahead and buy the car, get it home, jack it up, and have a proper kind of figure out with it. Everything apart from that knocking noise seems good so far. The clutch is nice, it accelerates nice, it stops okay. That noise is so weird. I mean, I can't see anything obvious, but that's such a loud noise for something that isn't really obvious. I think it could be a wheel bearing now. I think you're right with that, because I mean, a wheel bearing's not the end of the world. There's no oil underneath the car. So see if it starts up again, okay? So just that knocking noise then really is at the moment the major problems. Another amazing thing about this car, which once all the things are sorted, if I do buy it, is the fact that it's only done 109,000 miles. So it's actually pretty low mileage for one of these cars. Normally you see these on a lot higher mileage. I'm not too worried about the mileage at all. It's very low for its age. Right, let's go back to the owner and let's make an offer.
With any used car, it's always going to be a risk because you never know to what extent the repair might cost. But I'm going to make an offer that I think's fair, and that I think if worst case scenario was to happen, I could still make money.
What have you done now?
I've bought it.
Shock.
We've got the key.
Of course.
We've got the logbook.
Oh God.
And I've bought it. I'll tell you how much I've paid for it, but we'll let the video guess. And I want you guys to actually let me know down in the comments what you think is a good price for this car. Bearing in mind the big elephant in the room with this car is it's got no service history. It does have service history, but it's been lost, unfortunately. I have had proof by the previous owner that he serviced it last year, so it does have service history and it has been serviced, but it has unfortunately been lost, which of course is going to affect the resale value. But I think for what I paid for this car, we can sort all the problems out and still make, I want to say, £1,000 on it, if not at least 750. So let's get it home. We'll have a quick look round it on the driveway, and then I want to figure out what that problem is, because yeah, I want to get it done as quick as possible, move it on and see how much we can make. Another good thing, he did actually say, yes, that trim's in the boot. So that's the trim for that fog light, of course, but you need a screw to kind of hold it in place. It clips in, but you need a screw to kind of secure it. So that's brilliant, that's amazing. I don't have to go out and try and find one of them, I just need to find the screw. Okay, should we take it home? Do you think it's going to make it home?
No.
I think the engine will. I'm just not confident in that noise. You know what it also could be? He told me he didn't drive it for 3 months. It could also be the calipers seized. So we might have another little problem, but for what I've paid, I think we're going to get it all fixed and make profit. Let's go.
All I had to do now was hope that this car made it back to the driveway, and about halfway there, something surprising happened.
That noise completely stopped me. I don't know. Well, now I know. Now I think I know what it was. I just think it was build-up on the brake disc, and there was something on it that every time it was rotating past the pads, it was making that knocking noise. Because it's completely gone now on the motorway. Even driving, pulling it onto here, the noise is completely gone. So that's a job we now don't have to take care of. But I have found a couple of others driving it back that I didn't realise on the test drive. There's a couple of little issues, but let's go to the whiteboard, let's write them all down, and then let's fix it. So, the profit that we made on the A3 is £457.51. That's what we've got already towards the RS3, so that can go into a pot and we don't have to touch that. I've just bought this Seat Leon and it's cost me £750, which I think is pretty cheap for one of these. The one that's for sale at the moment online, I think is £2,500, but obviously that's got service history. It's not got any problems with it, I don't think. So that's why this one is so cheap. We've got the to-do list. 2 near side tyres. At the moment, they haven't gone down, and it's been a couple of days since I actually brought this car back. So that's one of those that we'll just keep monitoring and we'll see what happens. The fog light surround, that is in the boot. I'm going to quickly install that now. Then we've got a fault on the dashboard for a daytime running light that I need to try and figure out or diagnose and repair. We've got an oil leak. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's even started to leak yet. It hasn't, so I'm going to just assume that that's rocker cover gasket. Now on the way back I did also figure out another problem, and that's we've got a knock-in from the front end. A quick guess as to maybe drop links, I don't know, something we're going to have to dive into and try and find out. And the last one, which hasn't come on for me, is the engine light. He said that every now and then can be an engine light coming on for an O2 sensor, so we'll scan the car a little bit later and just see if there's any stored codes or anything like that. But for now, I want to make this car look a little bit better, so I think we should take the wrap off and pray that there's no horrible nastiness underneath. Let's get it off.
Removing this wrap could actually be quite risky. This car was made in 2009 and I'm not sure at what point the wrap got installed. I don't know what the paint's like underneath, I don't know what the spoiler's like underneath, and it wasn't long until I found out.
What?
Oh, it's brought the paint off. No.
Oh, I'll be getting resprayed anyway now.
Oh no.
This could actually be quite bad. As soon as I pulled the wrap off the corner of that spoiler, it pulled all the paint with it. I'm not sure why it's black underneath, But this now needs to get resprayed, which could really eat into the profits that I make on this car, and I also don't know how long it'll be until I can get it resprayed. I'm not sure exactly what kind of spoiler this is, whether it's aftermarket or whether it came installed on the car, but for now I'm just going to get as much of the wrap off as I possibly can, and luckily the parts where it's orange underneath, the wrap actually came off really easy and the paintwork underneath was in really good condition. But then I realised something.
Well, I don't know why it's took me so long to figure out that this is aftermarket. All this here, the OEM spoiler, is obviously orange underneath, and the reason all this paint is chipped off because this is an aftermarket spoiler. I know it is because look at all the wrap under here where they've wrapped round the brake light and stuff. So I tried to see if I could pry it off a little bit, and I've damaged this spoiler, but I want this to come off anyway and put it back to standard, but I think
it's going to be an injury.
I think it's tiger sealed on. Yeah, it is. There's bond there. There, it's gone. I'm trying to do this without damaging the window or anything, but there's basically tiger seal in loads of different spots on this spoiler, and if we can get that off, it means we don't have to get anything resprayed because the roof should technically be fine underneath. The original spoiler's fine underneath. We've started to get that off here, so I've just got to try and get this horrible nasty spoiler off, but at least if we get it off we don't need to go to the body shop or anything. Right, let's try and get tiger seal off of a window.
Tiger seal is great when you want something to stay on your car, but when you want it to come off, it's pretty tough. I found the best way to get it off was to heat it up as much as possible without damaging any of the window, and then just try and pry it from the car.
Yes! Yes! Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's so hot.
You'll probably notice now and then.
Yes! Well, that's definitely not OEM, because there is no way Seat would put...
Why does it look so weird?
Oh my god, that might be OEM. It's got a Seat badge on it.
It does look really weird now.
It's actually got a Seat logo on it. Have we just...
No, because if it was genuine, it wouldn't be tiger sealed on, would it?
It's been sprayed black at some point and then wrapped over in carbon. So I think it's aftermarket, but maybe it's like an aftermarket Seat part. Is it a Cupra?
Oh yeah, it could be.
It's a Cupra spoiler, isn't it? That's what it is. It's a Cupra spoiler. This isn't a Cupra, so we're putting it back to original. Right, let's get it all off.
At least now, if we can remove all this tiger seal without scratching or damaging any of the paint, we don't need to wait for the body shop to spray it. I'm trying to get all this tiger seal off this rear spoiler. It's really tough, and I found the best way to do it was to spray it with some adhesive remover and then try and scratch it with a plastic removal tool, but being careful not to touch that paintwork by damaging it. And eventually, with a bit of time, we managed to get it off. This took way too long.
That took way too long. And for some reason, Georgia has very kindly volunteered to unwrap the roof, because that's so time consuming and it just means that I can crack on with the other jobs. But that looks way better, doesn't it?
So with Georgia cracking on taking all of that wrap off the roof to reveal that lovely orange colour, I'm going to be starting with the fog light surround, and this is where I ran into yet another issue.
This fog light surround, as you'd have seen earlier, came in the boot. It says it is for a 2009 to 2012 Seat Leon. This one is 2009, so I'm pretty sure this is either for a non-Cupra or a non-FR. I'm not actually sure. There is no way on earth that is going to be fitting in there. I've messaged a few sellers on eBay, and hopefully one of them gets back to me and can get it sent out this week. But for now, we're going to have that fog light surround missing. So I'm hoping a little bit later we can order one, it arrives, and we can get that installed. But for now, we can move on to trying to find out which bulb or what fault or what problem is causing that running light error on the dashboard. So let's do some digging.
Every time I turn the ignition on in this car, I'm greeted with this: check daylight driving light. It also tells me that it's the front left. So the first thing that it makes sense to do is just to turn all of the lights on that I can and just visually check them. Make sure they're all working, all doing what they should be doing. And if I can't find anything wrong there, then I'm going to plug the diagnostic machine in. This should be able to tell me a little bit more information about the fault and where it's actually coming from. And as you can see here, we've scanned the car through and it's coming up with a left daytime running lamp bulb open circuit. An open circuit error normally means that something's either not plugged in, there's a cut in the wire, or there's a ground wire that's not attached properly. The only weird part is that both of the daytime running lights are working on this car. You need to actually have the engine running to activate them, hence why they're called running lights. But on this car, they both seem to be working absolutely fine. So maybe there's a different kind of problem. And then I noticed something.
This bulb looks a lot brighter and whiter than this one. You can see that on the camera. I'm wondering whether it just doesn't like the bulb that's in this car, because they're clearly working, but there's clearly a fault on the dashboard. There's definitely a colour difference.
So with all of the bulbs working, the only thing that makes sense for me to do right now is to swap them over. So I'm going to take the one out from the left, I'm going to move that to the right, and take the one out from the right and move it to the left. And now what I want to know is if the fault code is actually moved from left to right. At least by doing this, if I swap the bulbs round and that fault code follows to the right hand side, I know it's something to do with them bulbs. But if it doesn't, then I'm not actually sure. And after scanning the car through again, the fault was still on the left. A weird one, but by now George had finished unwrapping the roof.
I'm having a little bit of a nightmare with these headlights, we'll get back to that. But
What do you think?
that looks so much better. George has just finished unwrapping the whole roof, and I think this colour would have probably lacquer peeled.
Yeah, maybe.
And that wrap is kind of saved it, because that is in pretty mint condition. That looks way better. The car just looks how it should. Was that fun?
Not really.
Okay, now the lights.
This one has really confused me. Although the fault codes are both saying that it's something to do with the daytime running bulbs, all I know is that everything is working, and the only thing that I can see is one of these xenon bulbs is different to the other. So I guess I'm just going to concentrate on that, and if it doesn't fix it, then I'll have to look at something else.
Whether we need to get another bulb to solve that problem, or if it is something to do with this left side and I don't know, this one's weaker than the other and they should both be the same. I'm not sure. We might have one issue, we might have two issues, but an issue that we have solved is the fog lights around. Follow me. This is my neighbour's Seat Leon, and it is actually the exact same car as the one I've got. And as you can see here, he has the fog lights around. So shout out to Ollie, I know he'll be watching this video. He's very kindly letting me borrow his fog lights around. So he has gave me permission to remove his fog lights around and install it to my car. Thank you for that, Ollie. I have ordered another one on eBay and it is on the way. It should arrive next week. That has just cost, which is the only thing so far we've had to spend on the car. That costs £22.59p. Thank you for that, Ollie. I'm sorry that your car looks a bit rough, but this one looks all right now.
At least we can tick two jobs off the list: the fog lights around and also the roof being unwrapped. But this headlight issue is something a little bit above me, so I'm going to call the one man that would know.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How are we?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very, very well. This is Dips from P1 Auto Keys, and if there's one man that's going to be able to help me, it's this guy. This guy's an absolute wizard when it comes to auto electricians. So, I've sent you the fault codes, haven't I?
Yeah.
What would be the things that you'd run over and check with the situation?
So the fact that it's saying open circuit, potentially, I'm not saying it is this, but potentially it may be a grounding issue.
Okay.
It could be a broken wire. Now, from what you were saying, that both the lights actually work, it's just that one was flickering and one was a different colour as well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, that's it. The one's slightly more kind of brown and one's slightly more blue, if that makes sense.
Okay, so if you swap the lights over from one side to another, does the blue light move over to the other side?
Yes, it actually does.
Okay, so that to me would tell me that you potentially got two different bulbs in them, and I know they come with little ballasts on the back of them as well.
Yeah.
And what happens on these is the ballast basically sets the colour of the light. So
okay.
the brightness, not so much the brightness, but the actual how do you put it? It's basically the tone of the light.
Right.
So you can get some which are like really blue, and you can get some which are like pure white, and you get some which are like yellow. What someone may have done in the past is just bought one light, and it was slightly blue, and they weren't worried about it.
Okay.
First thing I would do with that is get two fresh light bulbs. Just put them in so we know we've got the right colour. Get two new bulbs with the ballast. Swap them over first.
Yeah.
And make sure they're the exact part number. I would also be checking the ground connections. Now, off the headlight, you usually have a ground that goes near it, so like maybe about that far away from the headlight, or it might be like 20 centimetres, 30 centimetres away from the headlight.
Okay, yeah.
And the ground connections, if the car's been potentially repainted in the engine bay, or it's got corrosion in there, the grounding will cause a problem as well, and can often cause a problem where it says open circuit.
Okay.
Even though the lights are working, even though everything works on the light, you might get a fault code flag up.
I'll give that a try.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Dips, you're an absolute legend.
Anytime, pal.
Cheers, mate. See you in a bit.
See you later.
Bye-bye. Dips, I'll leave his link in the description to P1 Auto Keys. He's an absolute mastermind at all this electrical stuff that I have no idea about. So I think the first thing to do is get two new bulbs so we can eliminate that. And then if that doesn't solve the fault on the scan tool, then we can look at them ground connections. And I'm also going to double check every single light on this side and actually make sure they are definitely working. But yeah, let's give that a go. Shout out Dips. Okay, I think we may have two problems, and this is hopefully going to solve the first one of the bulbs being a different type in each of the lights. At least with these, it should make it look the same on both sides. I don't know what kind of colour pattern these are, whether they're a little bit bluey tinged or whether they're white. I'm not sure, but they're two of the exact same bulbs. So let's get these in, and then we'll scan the car through again, and we'll see if that fault code's come up. You never know, this might have confused it because the bulbs are different, and this might solve it, so it's worth a try.
I'm not expecting this to fix it, but if there's anything that is going to make a difference, at least with these two bulbs being the exact same, the car will look symmetrical. So I'm going to install the two brand new bulbs, doing the driver's side and of course the passenger side, and just to try my luck, I'm going to scan it through the diagnostics. And then it went.
Oh my god, the code's gone. The code's gone. We've just got that left tail lamp. It's actually cleared. The light's still on the dashboard. We've still got a light on the dashboard because we've still got the fault code for the left tail lamp, which I don't really know what's going on with that one, because I've got a feeling these might be aftermarket and not the originals, but we'll have to figure that one out. But for now, it's gone. It's actually cleared it.
I really wish I could give you guys an explanation for this one, but I do not have a clue myself. All I'm going to do now is turn the lights off, then back on, just to make sure everything has done a full cycle. I'm going to scan it through again, and surprisingly, the code didn't come back.
Yes! Dips, you are a legend. I mean, I know it was quite obvious to start with changing the bulbs, but I thought we were going to have more of a wiring issue, or like Dip said, a ground issue or something along those lines. But that fault for the front left headlight has now cleared. Get in there. Okay, that's that problem solved. I can't believe that's just fixed it. I'm really happy with that. It did cost a little bit of money. With them being the Xenons from factory, it cost £52.46. Instead of them being the halogen ones that are a few quid each, that's how much them two bulbs did cost. But it's fixed the problem. Both of the headlights now match, well, the colours match, and that fault is off the scan tool. Right, I'm going to quickly reinstall the backing plates for the lights, and then we can move on to the next job.
So I'm going to refit the little backing plates that go on the back of the headlights with the 4 Torx screws on each side. And that's that job done.
Next job. We've got a fault on the dashboard for these rear lights. I don't know why. I have been told that these are apparently aftermarket, and it might just be one of them faults that you kind of have to deal with for how good these kind of look. So I'm just going to try and do what I can to make sure that if they are aftermarket, then unfortunately there is going to be that light on the dash. If there's anything I can do, I'm going to try and do it. But with how these do look, if it was my car, I think these rear lights do kind of compensate the fact that there is a little light on the dashboard. But I'm just going to take this one out, see if the part numbers are original or not, and then go from there. We may just have to leave this one as it is. There's nothing I can do. Let's get it out.
But then as I started unbolting the 2 bolts on the outside holding the headlight in place, I noticed the part number in between.
I don't know if you can see here because it kind of blends in, but it says Depot, D-E-P-O, and then there's like a part number. I've tried to search the part number. There's nothing on Google or anything that I can find. So what I'm actually going to do is just check my neighbour's car again. If his kind of lights have a Seat part number, then we know that these are aftermarket, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do. So I think that's the best way of checking, is just mirror it off another one. So yeah, let's go check Ollie's.
And after comparing it to my neighbour's car's lights, the part numbers were completely different, and so were the lights themselves. And with a quick Google search, you can also see that Depot lights are not OEM lights, so we know that these didn't come on this car, which might give us a little bit more of a clue as to why that fault's on the dashboard.
You know what don't make sense though? I'm saying they're aftermarket and that's the reason there's a fault. There's no fault for the right hand side. So surely it can't just be because they're aftermarket. You just tell me if there's any difference when I turn them on.
The left one on the outside flickered then, but that one, yeah, but that one didn't.
The right one didn't. The left, that side?
Yeah.
That's the side with the fault. How do you mean flickered?
Like, that flickered a few times before it came on.
What, this outside one?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I'm going to try and take it out and just see if the connection's weak or something like that. It's worth a go.
So I'm going to remove the light completely and see if I can find any obvious signs, which unfortunately I didn't. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to test what the car actually does with a normal bulb in, just a normal halogen one, and see if there's any faults or any flickering, which there wasn't. So I'm going to test it again with the aftermarket one, and the fault came back. So I think that it could just be a bad connection. So I'm going to make sure that the motherboard inside these aftermarket headlights is clipped in, and I'm also just going to sand down the connection where you actually plug it into the harness and hope that maybe that works.
It didn't flicker. I hate electrics. Surely not.
Now the fault on the scan tool had completely disappeared, so I've took the key out the ignition, I've turned the lights off, I'm going to put it back in, turn the lights on, and just see if it comes back. And it didn't.
Check that. There's no light on the dashboard either. Yes! The light's gone! Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, that fault has completely gone on the dashboard. Get in there!
I really thought this was going to end up being a nightmare or a complete faulty unit, but somehow I'm getting really lucky with this one.
The next job for this car is apparently an oil leak. Now this is something that the previous owner has told me and it's something that I haven't found myself. So if you look underneath the car, it's been here for 4 days now, and it is absolutely bone dry under there. If you look, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but down on where the under tray is, everywhere, and I mean the front, back, both the sides, everywhere is bone dry. I can't find where this car is leaking oil. There's plenty of oil in that, so it's not like it's really low on oil. I don't really know if that actually is an oil leak, or maybe the previous owner parked somewhere that there was already oil and he thought it was his car. I don't know, but as of now I can't really find one. But what I'm going to do, because I need to service it anyway, is I'm going to pull it up on the ramps and just have a look underneath, try and kind of see if the under tray is wet anywhere, and go from there. But if there's no oil leak to repair, then there's no point doing anything really. I did buy a brand new rocker cover gasket because that's the most common thing to leak on engines, so I have bought one, but if it's not leaking, I'm not gonna change it, because it's quite a big job to do this, and also don't fix something that's not broken. So let's get it on the ramps and let's see. If not, it needs a service anyway. Okay, I have a verdict. It is completely bone dry under it. That's the bottom of the under tray, and there's no evidence that this car has got an oil leak. So I mean, I just can't find anywhere that's wet. So whether it was like an old oil leak and it's now gone, or whether the previous owner parked on something and found a big oil spot, but as you can see on the floor, it's completely bone dry. Obviously this is from the other cars, but it's completely bone dry. So I don't know, there's no point fixing something that's not broken, so I'll just send the rocker cover gasket back. But under here is actually very dry for what's actually a Volkswagen. So yeah, I guess we'll just do a quick service on it, because I'm not sure when the last time it was done, and as you know, we've not got much history with it, so at least we can do one.
Now, to get to the oil filter on these cars, it's a little bit awkward. You've got to remove this little clip that's held in by a Torx bolt, and then also take out the EGR pipe. It's held in with 2 multi-spline bolts, just so you can move it out the way to get the oil filter up and around it. Now that's done, I can replace the oil filter, refit that EGR pipe, and of course that little bracket that I took off earlier. And now I can fill the car up with oil, and as quick as that, that's that job done. I'm also going to quickly replace the air filter, because I don't know the last time it was actually replaced. And lastly, because I shouldn't need to come back into this engine bay, I can refit everything. So I'm going to refit the little soundproofing that sits on top of the engine, and of course the engine cover. And not forgetting to reset the service light that kept reminding me on the dashboard. To do all that, it only costs £24.11. Shout out Motorstop.
That's that job done. Next is the one that I didn't actually know was an issue. Well, the previous owner didn't tell us it was an issue, but I found it on the way back. That noise on the rear went away after about 4 or 5 miles of driving, but then I noticed a bit of a knocking noise coming from the front end. Now it did sound like both sides, which I'm thinking might be the drop links. Oh, check that out. There's H&R lowering springs on it. Cool. It's going to be one of 2 things. Either it's going to be like a ball joint or a bush or something, or it's going to be the drop links. I'm hoping it is the drop links, but I'm going to get this wheel off and we're going to have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, check this out. If I put the pry bar between the roll bar and the drop link, you can just hear it's making a little knocking noise. Now the noise when driving is so faint that it kind of doesn't matter, but the fact that the boots also split on the drop link, I've ordered another one. I have ordered another one for the other side. I'll double check that, but for now let's get that drop link changed over, and that should solved the problem on this side anyway.
But little did I know how much of an awful job this drop link was going to be to get off. These are held on with 2 bolts, and I had to use force, fire, and I ended up even breaking out the grinder just to be able to get it off. These haven't been changed in a long time.
Putting up a fight, this one.
But after about an hour of trying every single possible way I could imagine, I just ended up using the grinder and going at it until the bolt completely fell off. And luckily, it ended up working.
Are you ready? Yes. What, hour and a half?
It looks like that thing off SpongeBob. You know the spine when it's in a wheelchair?
No.
That thing that's dying.
Show the camera.
People don't know what I mean.
Wow. Right, let's get the new one in.
And getting the new one in was as simple as it should have been to take the old one out. Get one side in place, jack the car up until the other side matches, and then tighten the 2 bolts, and that's that drop link installed. Now I can chuck the wheel back on, lower the car down, tighten the wheel bolts, and now we're onto the other side. I'm going to take the wheel off, and now we can check if this needs a drop link as well, which I'm hoping it doesn't.
Hold on. No, we're good. Oh, we're good. Yes. Thank the heavens for that. Well, I think that knocking noise must have just been that drop link then, because, I mean, there's no movement in the track rods. Okay, good. That should be that job taken care of. Let's get the wheel on and let's take it for a drive. The reason I want to take it for a drive is 1, to check if that knocking's gone, and 2, the engine light. The previous owner said about the engine light, it hasn't come on for me, so I kind of want to drive it. I'll put my foot down a little bit more and see if I can make it come on. If I can't make it come on, then I can't really fix it. So yeah, at least that's that job taken care of. Thank the Lord that didn't need replacing, because that looks better than the other side, but still not fun.
That should now be the majority of the jobs fixed on this car. That's if there's none that come back once I start driving it. So I'm going to put the wheel on, and now we can actually take it for a spin.
Well, I'm going to call that one a success, because we've got no knocks, we've got no bangs, we've got no unwanted lights on the dashboard, and it's actually driving pretty good. This is going to make a really nice car for someone. Someone's definitely going to enjoy this, because it drives good, and now it's all working. That engine light, I have no clue. It's not come on for me, and it's not a stored code on the diagnostic tool, so I'm not really sure. I guess all I can do for now is just keep my eye on it and, well, yeah, make sure that it doesn't come on. If it does, of course I'll fix it, but I can't really get it to come on for some reason. It's a little bit weird, but for now, the Leon is driving mint. Well, I'm calling that one a success. I've had this car for around 5 days now, and the tyres have been absolutely fine. They've not gone down, they've held the air pressure. So I'm assuming they are just good, and with the guy not driving it for 4 months, it probably happened over a long time. There's no unwanted lights on the dashboard, there's no knocks and no bangs. And that engine light, I have no clue about. I can't make it come on, it hasn't come on, so I can't really fix something that isn't at the moment a problem. So I guess the only thing left to do with this Seat Leon is add up how much it's cost me to get it to this point, and then put it up for sale. So, as you all know, we bought the car for £750, and I think I have got a little bit lucky with this one again, that it didn't need anything major. So the total cost, of course, including buying the car and fixing it, has come to £854.98p, which for under £1,000 is very, very cheap for one of these cars, and I think with that we can definitely make a good bit of profit. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to put this car up for sale, and of course if you guys are interested in it, then make sure you get in contact, because the Leon is ready to go. Just like that, one video, flipped the car, sorted all the problems, and now it's up for sale. So if you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
You wear a hat they call dad. Me, I'm the dad in a hat. You just like clubbing and clothes. Me, I like afternoon naps. 3, I be missed for the road. My oldest like counting racks. My middle one, she's in a dirt bike. My youngest is just like a mama. The mama loves me and I love her, so if she wants something, it's never a bother. 3 little ladies, my babies, and 1 on the way now.